So I purposely waited for some time to review this car. I wanted to get a few goes in the car. So I booked a diesel, I booked this petrol one, which is 1 litre petrol. I was on the international trip of it. And I'm still struggling here, Ford. I really am. Ford is the king, or should be the king, of the 5-door hatchback. The Ford Escort, the Ford Focus, they've been doing this a long time. And when you think of what they do with the Ford Fiesta ST and the Ford Focus RS, and they should know what they're really doing here, right? So, exterior design, the car stopped traffic. I've seen people who are already Ford Focus owners come running out to have a look at the latest version of the Ford Focus. Yeah, I see the front, the grille is getting bigger, and you know, the usual sort of design cues are coming across on it. So I don't really have a problem with the exterior of the car. It's just kind of everything else. Let me explain for a second. Under the bonnet of this is a 1 litre petrol. It is an exceptional engine. It does a great job. It is really quiet. It's actually very economical for such a small engine. I didn't think it was going to get the car to move at all. With 125 PS strapped into a turbocharger, away you go. It works fine. The gearbox though, in this one, in the smaller engined cars, there is a different gearbox. So you'd be able to tell the difference between the two gearboxes by where reverse is, funny enough. Reverse is near the driver on this one, so on the right hand side of the box, so you pull back towards you, and reverse on the other one is over the other way and away from you. So it's two different gearboxes. One of the gearboxes is good, and it's not this one. This gearbox is really vague, like a French thing. This reminds me of driving a Citroen, you know? It's like I'm in 6th, and that's not really feeling like it's in a gear at all. It nearly feels like it's in neutral. So why is that a problem? It's not really. You get used to the gearbox after a while, but I just expect better from Ford. The steering wheel is made of a lovely material. I mean, it's very luxurious feel. It feels like I'm putting my hand in, I don't know, something a little bit more executive. Unfortunately, the steering is quite vague, and the car feels excessively light around the front. And so you never really feel like you're actually steering the car, even though there's no active steering system on this. So it's no lane keeping system doing the job here. It's just me pointing the steering wheel. The seats in this basic version are kind of mishy and unsupportive. They don't really do much. They just kind of, they're there. You sit in them. They don't really support you in the way you think you're going to be supported. And that's okay because you think it's reasonably priced, right? No. Prices for the Ford Focus in Ireland start at, near as makes no difference, 25 grand, right? By the time you pay for metallic paint and delivery related charges, yada yada yada, 25 grand has gone down the tube. And for that, you don't get any parking sensors, you don't get a reversing camera, you don't get active cruise control, you don't get lane keeping, you don't get any of the stuff that I've kind of come to expect that is in the modern 2018 car. What you do get is the Ford Sync system, which is exceptionally good. If you want to just use Bluetooth, it works absolutely perfectly. If you plug in your phone, it takes over using Apple CarPlay, Google Android and so on. And it's bright, it's clear, it works, it's in the eye line, it seems to work perfectly for me. I'm quite happy with that. That's come straight from the Ford Fiesta ST that I drove last year, Ford Fiesta that I drove earlier this year. And it was needed. It was needed in the Ford Focus, but that's not enough. Because the problem Ford have right now is the competition for it isn't directly coming from Germany so much these days as it's coming from Korea. Yes, the Kia Ceed has launched this year as well, and that really largely puts a giant torpedo on the road straight for the Ford Focus. Now, why do I say that? Well, you know, if you look at a Kia Ceed at the moment, and the other day they launched the ST, the Sports Tourer version, Estate in old money. So the Estate starts at €23,900, and for that you get a reversing camera, parking sensors, an Estate, touchscreen inside, active or cruise control, active lane keeping, a Bluetooth. You get all of the things I'd want in a modern car, all wrapped up for about 24 grand. And even if you throw all the stuff at it, you know, metallic paint and delivery rated charger, still at 25 grand. Same price as this car, but it's got a lot more kit and a 7-year warranty. Now look, this is why you want me here. This is why I'm still here after all these years. I'm still pointing out the problems with a car when you're forking over 25 grand and plus 25 grand. Plus all your options and Zetec models and everything else. And look, they make some really good ones, and among the rest of them, there's the Zetec version, there's the titanium version, and a lot of those cars have the options you're chasing right now, and the ones I'm talking about will be on those cars. But this one I'm sitting in is the one that most people will probably end up buying, because they don't have really a lot more money to go any further than this. And this one is lacking a lot of stuff. So as a town car then, the Ford Focus does a fairly good job in this 1 litre guise. The problem is the competition is fearsome in this market now. It's not just enough now to release a car into the market. You have to have all the bells and whistles, because the amount of competition, the amount of choice you've got out there is huge. So hopefully by now you have learned something about the Ford Focus, and maybe I've earned your subscription if you've watched this far. With any luck, you will have subscribed and you will support this channel in any way you possibly can. But until the next time, I will see you on the far side.